Good morning, everyone. I'm Leah Dixon from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and I am live with my regular Wednesday morning Facebook and YouTube Live. This week, I actually have my paper pumpkin to share with you. This is the August paper pumpkin called Farmhouse Florals. And it's a really, really cute, from what I've seen online, it's a really, really cute paper pumpkin. So I'm excited to be creating with this. And then if we have some time, I will also create some alternatives with this. So let's switch over to just my desktop and get started. Good morning, everyone. All right, so of course we have our beautiful red polka dot box. Love these boxes. And inside this month, we actually get 2 stamp sets. So kind of a nice bonus. We get one that has some florals, some fun little patterned background, and a ton of sentiments. They're all about friendship. So like, for you, thank you, just a note to say, forever friend, you are loved, XO, hello, good friends are hard to find, I'm so glad we found each other. And then we've got this one that has the teapot, the flowers, some extra flowers and leaves, for a great friend. Thank you for your constant friendship and listening ear, and you're simply the best. So really, really nice sentiments and some fun little images to play with. So 2 stamp sets, a Secret Sea Stampin' Spot, and this is one of our in colors right now, which, just a reminder, in colors are on sale until the end of the month. So that's ink pads, cardstock, but also like designer series paper that has in colors in it, kits that have in colors in them. So lots and lots of different things on sale. All right. There's a full page actually that you can click on. If you go under specials, you can find a full page of everything that's on sale with the in color sale. All right, so let's grab a pair of snips. So snips are the one thing I would recommend having when you get a paper pumpkin kit, and a chamois. Other than that, everything you need comes with your kit. So, open this up. There we go. All right, so it looks like we've got some linen thread here. So that's cute. I love linen thread. Some mini dimensionals. Oh, one of my favorite parts, which is the envelopes. Now, this is kind of cool. I had heard some rumors about this. They've gone back to using the naturals. We used to have this paper a long time ago. So if I get this on the right angle, it's got little like flecks and specks in it. It's not pure white. So it gives it kind of more that rustic, kind of like farmhouse look, I guess. Farmhouse florals, right? And then this beautiful pattern, which actually matches with the patterned stamp image that we've got there, as well as these 3 little dots that we've got in the other set. So gorgeous, gorgeous envelopes. Love them. I'm going to put them to the side for right now, though. And then our card bases. So you actually get to make 9 cards with this kit. So we've got 3 with this beautiful bouquet on it. So I'm going to just put 1 to the side for now. We've got 3 that are just that naturals look to them, nothing printed on them, but it's naturals on both sides, which is cool. Some pieces to pop out. And this is the one that I've been seeing everywhere. I love it. Is the old typewriter with the flowers coming out of the top of it. That's awesome. Okay. Then we have some panels here to add to our cards and some more pieces to pop out. All right. We have our paper here for our stamp sets. I should always dig through and actually find this. This is a way easier way to show you guys what's on the stamp sets, because this is full size and really pretty. So that is what we have. for our stamp set. So I just always fold those in half and save them. Helps me when I'm storing my paper pumpkins after I'm completed them. Oh yes, and then a reminder. I'm so glad they did that for our alternatives. A reminder that we do have a coordinating kit. And now, of course, where did I put mine? I've been cleaning my stamp room all summer. It's going to take me a while. There it is. Okay, good. Phew. So what I've started to do is like package up my stamp set. So I've actually got on here, like it says July, August, and September Circle of Seasons dies. So it goes with the Circle of Seasons dies. And this is how I've been storing my things. So let's pull out the Circle of Seasons dies. So we've got the hello, the circle, the stuff to make the strawberry, and the stuff to make the acorn. So that'll be handy. All right, put that to the side. So we've got our add-on die kit for alternatives. Okay, so our colored instructions are always really, really helpful, really, really beautiful. I do kind of follow them. And oddly enough, this month I am not, I know I always do, but I am not going to be cutting up my card bases and using the backs for alternative projects. So the reason for that is because this is the Naturals paper, and so it's actually a little bit thicker than our normal paper pumpkin card bases to begin with. And then the back, although it's pretty with the Naturals look to it, which you guys are having a tough time seeing on the screen, I can see, it is just really a Naturals piece of paper. I have Naturals papers, so I'm not going to cut these down. I'm going to actually make them as is and then see what we have left over in terms of stuff to make alternatives. Okay, so I'm actually keeping these card bases completely complete. All right, our first card, we're going to start with the card base that actually has nothing on it. And we're just going to burnish that so it lays flat because I'm going to be stamping directly on here. And the first thing I'm going to do is get this longer patterned piece, and we're going to stamp that in Secret C. Now, if you're using a paper pumpkin block here, I'm going to actually grab a paper pumpkin block. It doesn't fit very well like straight, so you want to put it on diagonally so that way it fits. Now, what that means though is that you're going to have to be careful when you're inking it. So if you're using a spot, it's pretty easy because you'll just take the spot to it and you're not going to get ink everywhere. If you're using a big ink pad like I use, then you're going to have to, pay attention to what you're doing. Don't rock it when it's on the ink pad because otherwise you're going to get ink where you don't want it. All right, now we are going to do 4 stamps of this. And we're going to kind of overlap them. So right onto the front of our card, we're going to come in, and it's okay that these overlap and get a little messy in the middle because that's all getting covered up. Okay, so there we have that fun pattern just stamped across the bottom of our card. And then on the inside, we're going to do some stamping as well. They've got us using this beautiful floral. So if you only have your one block from your paper pumpkin kit, you're gonna have to clean up that other piece and then mount this onto your new piece. But I have extra, so I'm just gonna grab an extra block. And then they have used You Are Loved on the inside here. I think, is there a sentiment on the front? There is a sentiment on the front. We say thank you on the front. I think I'll stick with You Are Loved. Yeah. Why not? Let's actually, for the first time in my life, do one of these exactly how they say to do it. All right, so we're going to take this floral image. Now, I've never stamped this before, so I am just going to do a little test run, maybe get any film off of it that there is. There we go. All right. So we're actually going to stamp this once this way, and then we're going to turn it around. So I have to turn it around while I'm inking it. Turn it around the other way and stamp it the other way. There we go. And then we are going to stamp "You Are Loved" on the inside there. So pretty. All right, so just a nice little, they don't often have a stamp on the inside of our card, so that's kind of a nice little bonus. Pretty little way to decorate a card. All right, so that's our stamping for this card. Now we get to add some of the pretty pieces that they've got here. Let's see what else. Oh, I'm sorry. There is one more piece of stamping. We actually have to stamp that "Thank You." All right, so it's this cool little piece that's got like a torn edge for us that's not actually torn, and we're going to stamp the word "Thank You" on there. So let's grab that. Thank you. And get our ink back. Now when we stamp this, we just want to center it. Oh, hey, LA. Sorry I never got back to you yesterday. I was out with a friend and her toddler for the day and came home and was so exhausted. I just went and had a little nap. 19-month-olds are exhausting. All right, so we're going to take this gorgeous window and put some dimensionals on the back of it. Now they gave us mini dimensionals. I actually am trying to use up some other dimensional packs right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that instead. So 5 on there. Pull those off. Oh, come on. Yeah, they never stop moving. And honestly, like they're a roller coaster of emotions, laughing one minute, crying the next. Oh my goodness. It's fun, but wow. All right. And now for our "Thank You, we're going to attach it here. And I am going to use the minis because they just want us to put 2 mini dimensionals right along the edge of our "Thank You, so that it's not popped up again on top of the window. It's just popped up and laying on the window. So just 2 little dimensionals on the not torn end. And then you can kind of come in and tuck that in. There we go. Make sure it's straight. Awesome. Now, if that feels a little loose to you, it feels a little loose to me. You can just grab a dot of glue or whatever adhesive you have, and I'm just going to do a little dot of glue there to hold that still. Oh yeah, have I ever forgotten those days? It was super fun, but wow, it's intense. And yeah, she's coming back to work. She's my grade partner at school, and she's coming back to work this September since her mat leaves ended. And I just I don't know how she's going to do it. I don't think I could do it. Not anymore. I'm too old for that. All right, so that's our first card. All done. Actually, I should double check that. I feel like maybe I forgot something, but no, there's no twine or anything on this card. So it's just this gorgeous watercolored piece that completely makes the card. Now, what I love is it gives me some ideas of things that I could create myself with paper, because creating a window frame with paper is super simple. We've got the teapot and flower stamps. We all have vases of some kind that we can create and other flower stamps, and there's the other flowers in this set. So we can recreate this kind of a look as well, which is really nice. So that is our first card. All right, our second card uses this beautiful base, and we're going to do something that feels really foreign and wrong. We are going to stamp across the front of this image. So I'm going to get my Secret Sea ink again. I'm going to get that beautiful patterned piece again. And right across the middle of my piece here, I am going to stamp that patterned line. The reason we can stamp right across that is because they have given us, just so we know where to put it, they've given us a basket to put on here. And kind of neat too, they've given us an extra handle for our basket, so we can pop that up and make it seem 3D. And they've given us extra flowers. Now, which ones are we using? I think it's all the orange ones. Flower, I think that one goes there, and flower. So these flowers are really fun and pretty, and they all pop up, so it really, looks vibrant. And so it's just our orange ones that were popping up. And then somewhere, there we go. We also have our little tag, the For You tag. So we'll pop that off. So lots of little bits on this one. They have given us an extra of all of our ones to stamp on, just so that, if you make a mistake, you're okay. You've got extras. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of the stamping before I add those pieces, but I wanted to grab them right now. And actually, I'm going to keep that one there, put these ones aside. All right. Clear up my desk a bit. So those are the pieces we're going to use. So on our little tag here, we are going to stamp the words For You. And I'll just use that to cover up that bright spot. Sorry guys, my lights are a little intense. So let's grab our sentiment, For You. I'm sure I'm using a lot of the stamps this time. I like that. And pop in there. And a little For You on our label. So cute. And this one, they have a stamp on the inside again. In that same way, except that we're using a different sentiment. We're going to say, good friends are hard to find. I'm so glad we found each other. And this time around, because it's a much bigger sentiment, and I won't be able to just squeeze it in if I make a mistake about where I put my florals, I'm going to actually stamp the sentiment first and then the florals, which is probably what I should have done on the first one as well, but I just figured it was so tiny, I could sneak it in no matter what. So there we go. There's our sentiment. And then we'll grab those florals again. This way you can line them up and center them above and below. There we go. Gorgeous. So another beautiful inside to this card. Now I'm going to close my ink and get busy putting all these little bits together, because it is actually a lot of little pieces this time around for this particular one. All right, so they've got us putting twine around that. Okay. All right, so let's start with the basket. They've got us using 5 mini dimensionals, so I might as well use the minis like they said, since I've started it now. So 1 in each corner and 1 in the center. I'm going to line this up right over top of the one that's already on the card. All right. There we go. All right. Now we're going to take our little handle, and they've got us cutting, I have scissors there, cutting one of these dimensionals in half and using it on either side of the handle. There we go. And there we go. All right. So we're going to attach our handle to our basket now. Awesome. All right. So now our little 3D handle is on there. I'm going to attach my flowers. So these ones go out this way, I think. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, so they go with the greenery down. Just like that. And then we've got these two pretty flowers, and they kind of like overlap so that they, sorry, one of them overlaps the greenery out, and the other one doesn't. So we're going to take this one and tuck it in. And then for this one, I'm actually going to put my dimensional on the card front and then stick my flower to it. And so for this one, we want to place it so that the greenery overlaps down. There we go. All right, so lots of little pieces added on for our flowers. Now our little for you gets added, but we're going to add it with a piece of twine. So grab your little baggie of twine. I'm having trouble opening mine. There we go. There. Okay. So I've got my little baggie of twine. Usually they tell us how much. They recommend 12 inches of twine. And we're going to put one dimensional on the back of this, just so that we can hold it in place once we have it tied in spot. So 12 inches. Now your paper pumpkin kit does have a ruler in it, so if you don't have a ruler or a glass mat with a ruler on it, don't worry about it. And so I'm going to tuck that in there, but I'm also going to tuck it underneath here. Put my two ends together. And when I pull, I want to make sure my tag goes above the handle, not below. All right, so now with the two ends equal, I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm actually going to make a double knot. And then with my double knot, I'm going to do my bunny ears and make a bow. There we go. So now you can make this bow as big or as little as you would like, whatever your personal preference is. And then I am going to trim the ends, but I am going to keep them really long. I love the long tails on something like this. All right, and then our final step here is I'm going to take the backing off of this dimensional and put it on the angle I want it on and stick it down. There we go. So now it's stuck in place exactly how I want it. Fiddle with my bow a bit more. There we go. Trim that a little bit more. There. And that is our second card completed. These are such nice cards, like just lots of detail to them. And I love the pretty watercolors. So that's our second card. can't even believe I'm making these as is. I never do that. But the bases really are very sturdy this time. And they don't have like some fantastic design that we're wasting. So I feel like I can let it go. All right. So for our last one, again, we're going to stamp over our image. It feels really weird, but we're doing it. So we're going to stamp right here and right here, but we're not going all the way across our card front. Okay, so it doesn't go all the way across. So we've stamped that. We're going to stamp inside our card again. This time they have us using the to say thank you, because on the front we're going to put just a note. So to say, and then we already have the thank you out. So let's go to say. To say. Thank you. And then grab our florals. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, saved it. You could also use a pen to fill that in. But yeah, maybe don't rush it. Go slow. Press it down properly. All right. So there's our to say thank you on the inside. So now let's finish up our front. We are going to need our typewriter. Our typewriter has a little slot in it. That's how we're going to get our paper in there. And then we've got 2 sets of flowers here. And I'm going to need my just a note sentiment. So wow, we've used almost all of our stamps in this set. That's crazy. I love it. Okay. So now we have one more. Here we go. We've got these. So pull that out. And at the top of this one, we're going to stamp the just a note. So the kind of torn edge is the top. There we go. Just a note. Ah, Kim. Yes, they are. So Stampin' Up! Actually made quite a few announcements. I haven't had the chance yet to kind of go through and create anything to share with people. But yes, they are going to be phasing out the markers. So right now we have markers, obviously, but they will slowly be phasing them out. They're finding that people just don't want to use the markers anymore. We have the blends and they're so wonderful. If you are a scrapbooker, they will still carry the journaling pen, which personally I like better than our basic black marker anyways. And then they're also going to be phasing out red rubber. They're wanting to get ahead of it. They're having a lot of trouble accessing red rubber. And so before they're in a lurch where they've got a red rubber stamp set and actually can't provide it, they want to phase it out so it's on their terms, not supply terms. All right, so I just tucked in that note and put dimensionals on the back and attached this to the card front. And then I'm going to put some mini dimensionals on the backs of these flowers and attach them as well. So yeah, markers are going away and red rubber is going away. And then also packaging will be changing. They've shown us some visuals of it. It's really quite beautiful. I do love the new packaging and I'm very excited about it. So yeah, that is what's going to be happening. So a few changes. But I think overall, smart changes and ones that are going to be really, really good. All right, so now these, I'm trying to figure out which way they go on. It looks like we've got one that's going to go right here, and one that's going to go right here. There we go. And that's how we finish that card. Yeah, the piece of paper in the typewriter is so sweet. I love it. So that is our third card finished. And yeah, again, this one doesn't have twine either. Wow. All right, so that is our card. Now, I think I see what I did wrong is I actually wasn't supposed to, I was supposed to have another orange one. One of the orange ones that I put on this card, the one that got tucked in, I wasn't supposed to tuck it in. So I'm actually going to peel it out. Uh-oh. So when you take out a dimensional, it sometimes leaves a little sticky backing, and you can just kind of like rub it off, like roll it off. And so that one's like that. And then we're just going to take this extra one off and put one back on. Yeah, I was supposed to have an orange one here. All right. And so we will. There we go. Just like that. All right. Fixed it all up. So that is our typewriter. I love it. So all three of these cards, quick and easy to put together, absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, they're a bit thicker of a base than we normally have, and they're just plain natural paper on the back. So I didn't feel the need to kind of cut them up like I normally do and put them onto card bases. So that was really nice. So now in terms of extras that we have for making alternatives, we really don't have a lot of extras, of extra pieces. The only extra pieces we have are, if you don't make any mistakes, you've got extra sentiment pieces. That's it. Everything else gets used up making these cards, which is fine. We have our beautiful add-on dies that we can use, and we have the extra stamp set as well. So we have our teapot and flowers and other sentiments and everything. So we actually still have a lot to work with, but it means that we need extra cardstock and stuff like that. So I'm going to see if we can make one alternative here using just like as minimal materials as I can. And definitely we're going to use these additional labels that we've got here because these are really beautiful. So I'm going to pop out one of each. There we go. So we've got those three labels, and that's really our only extras. If you're the type of person who doesn't care about the envelopes, you've also got the envelopes to cut up, but I actually really love sending things in decorated envelopes, so this saves me the trouble of decorating, so I'm not going to use my envelopes. So I've got three little labels, and we'll see what we can do. So I think we are going to need, and we've got our Secret Sea ink, which, where did I put? Oh, I put it back on my shelf already. Wow. All right, so I think we're going to start by stamping our little sentiments on here. I'm going to stamp thank you on here. For you on our little bouquet. And just a note on our typewriter paper, even though I'm not sure what we're going to use that typewriter paper for. There we go. Since we have no extra typewriters, I don't know what we're going to use it for, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do here. So I think that our For You is going to tie nicely onto a little bouquet. So we're going to stamp ourselves a little bouquet of flowers, and I wanted to share with you a little trick. So I've got to clean this up. Here we go. And we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. I'm sorry. But we'll have to if I want to be able to tie anything onto this bouquet. So I'm going to grab just some basic white paper. Now, if you don't want basic white and you really want to keep with this naturals, you could cut up your bases and then you'd have the natural backgrounds available to you to stamp on. I'm just going to go with basic white. So I'm just going to grab some scraps. All right. There we go. So we just have a little scrap paper, and I want to show you a little trick. It kind of bothered me that these bouquets, it's all one image and there's like no definition between the flower or whatever. But I think if we go ahead and use a light enough color, so I'm going to grab Bubble Bath here and stamp our bouquet in Bubble Bath. We're now going to be able to come in here with those markers that are retiring. You could also use blends for this. We're going to come in here with our Old Olive marker and the thinner, oh, you know what? These aren't even our new markers. These are really old markers. Is this the new tip? Nope. I don't even have an Old Olive with the new tip. Interesting. Well, then I'm going to use blends, because I don't want to show you guys something that you can't actually... Oh, wait. Maybe these are new markers. This is Lost Lagoon. Yeah, so there's the new marker tip. Okay, so this is Lost Lagoon. Won't have quite the same look. But you can come in and color over top of the... Bubble Bath, because it's such a light color. So you can color over top of it and make it look like you've got a lovely stem here with some blooms coming off of it. So that's just one way that you can work with these stamps to give them some definition and not just be like one solid color. All right, you need a lighter flower than whatever color you're choosing for your stems, though. Okay, I'm not sure I love that combo, though, of the Lost Lagoon and Bubble Bath. So let's see what we're going to do. I'm not sure. Maybe we will just go monochromatic and have some bright stuff going on. So maybe we'll just do kind of a shadowy secrecy bouquet. I guess that'll work too. All right, so I've got my bouquet again. And I'm going to do Secret C, and I'm going to do 2 of them now. I'm going to tie the 2 together. All right. Yeah, so it works. I personally, I think I would do Old Olive. I don't like it with the Lost Lagoon. The 2 are too soft together. So now that we've got these done, I'm just going to do a little fussy cut here around them. And this keeps us to 1 ink color as well, which is kind of nice if all you've got is your kit. So now we just need a little bit of extra white paper. We're going to use some more of the twine that they gave us, and we're going to keep with 1 ink that they gave us. So a nice alternative here. Now, if you do subscribe to Paper Pumpkin with me, I always send out, just in the last few months I've started with this group, I send out a 10 project tutorial that uses just your stamp set, no other bits from the kit, to create some alternatives. I've seen most of the alternatives for the Farmhouse Florals now, and they're gorgeous. We actually have till the 24th to create them as our deadline, and then on the 25th we send out the completed tutorial to our subscribers. So it's 10 projects using just the stamp set. And in this case, we had 2 stamp sets, so extra fun. Lots that you can do with it. All right. So there's one, and I'm just going to do my second one here quickly. And then we're going to tie these together with our Just For You little label and some twine. All right. Just a little bit more. So yeah, August is almost done. I can't even believe it. I go into the classroom on Tuesday to start setting up. It's crazy. Summer's almost over, but lots of great stuff still happening. We have our in color sale till the end of August. And man, there's some beautiful stuff in there. Like, definitely if you haven't gone to the sale page and checked it out, go check it out, because it's not just inks and cardstock. It's like anything that has in colors in it. So lots of things that actually surprised me, because you forget, like, Darling Duckling is an in color. You just think, oh, look at that pretty paper. It has a little bit of yellow in it. Well, that yellow, if it's Darling Duckling, is an in color, and so that product is on sale. So yeah, lots and lots of great sale items. Okay, so get rid of those scraps. Save that for something. So we're going to take our 2 little bouquets that I stamped here in Secret Sea. I'm going to overlap them. Pop out the center of that. This is our extra tag that we got. And I'm going to grab probably 12 inches again of my twine. Pop it through here and tie it around my bouquets. So now these guys are gonna zoom around on me in a way I don't want them to. So I'm actually going to put a dimensional on the back to hold them together. It's going to make it easier for me to tie around it as well. All right. So do that. Get my 2 ends even. I might even start my loop. There we go. All right. So loop that around. Make sure my tag ends up on the front when I do that loop. And then I'm going to do my double knot. Oops, come on. Double knot. I'm making this look way harder than it is. There we go. All right, so now you can kind of position that where you want it and make your bow. Sometimes this is easier if you've actually attached the flowers to something, because then they don't move around on you, but that's okay. All right, so now we make our bow the size we want. We trim up our ends the way we want. There we go, just like that. And now I have this beautiful little bouquet that I can add onto a card front. So I think what I'm going to do to attach this to a card front, it's very early to go back to school, Kim. It's the earliest we can legally go back. We always start on the first Tuesday after Labor Day, and this year Labor Day is September 1st. So we start back on September 2nd. It's kind of gross. All right, I'm going to grab our circle from our add-on dies, and I think I'm going to cut out some pretty color. Let's see. I might actually use some DSP for this, because I am quite in love with our in color DSPs, and they are on sale. I think I'm going to grab, not the stripes. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Just the back side of, so there's the flowers of Strawberry Slush. And then the back side is just this fun little splattery look. I'm just going to die cut a circle out of that. So I can just pop this into my big machine. I'll be right back. And I come back with that circle. All right. That's embossing. All right, so that circle embosses and puts that cute little trim on there as well. I'm going to hold on to this because I might use it on another alternative. I think I have an idea. All right, so we're going to do that and that. Oh, I love that on there. Nice color combo. And then let's see. I think we're going to grab just a white card base. And we're going to keep this card really, really simple. We're going to take our white card base with our little circle and everything. I don't think it ends early this year either. But that's okay. We only have so many school days in a year, so I think it's 196 teaching days or something like that. I don't know, I can't actually remember the right number, but like we're obligated to, actually it might even be number of instructional minutes, because I know in some districts they actually teach longer days so that they can have like extra days off and stuff like that. So it might be instructional minutes. I don't know. The people who pay us work it all out so that they don't get gypped. All right, and then I'm going to do a second row. So when you do this one, you just want to be lining it up so that it's running right beside, and these just nestle in so beautifully with each other. And one more just to finish off the bottom. All right, so I've just done that nice little strip of pattern down the side. And then we're going to take our pretty little bouquet and our For You and pop that on. Maybe I will center it. I wasn't going to center it, but maybe I will. All right, so we're going to do that. I don't know. It feels like it's missing something. Still missing something. I might trim this and put it onto a strawberry slush base just so that it's got a little something extra around it. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to just trim this down. So I'm actually going to trim it down not to my usual 4 by 5 1/4, but 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm just going to take that to my trimmer. Three and 3/4. By 5. There we go. And grab a strawberry slush base. That's interesting. Okay, so when I went to grab my strawberry slush base, I actually found this interesting one that's only a partial base. And so we're actually going to work with that instead. So we've got that and our little florals like that. I'm going to put it down a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to put it up a little bit higher and put another sentiment on here is what I'm going to do. So it says For You. And then I'm going to add in, thank you for your constant friendship and listening ear. That's one that we haven't used yet, and it's such a pretty one. Thank you for your constant friendship and listening ear. And that's going to go on our front of our card. Okay, don't stamp it on that base because that base is not solid. There we go. All right. And now let's attach all of these bits. Actually, let's close up our ink pad before we have a disaster. So this piece I am going to attach to our card front just with some dimensionals or some glue, but we're not gluing the whole thing. We're just gluing it to that front panel. So I'm gonna center this, flip it over, probably use 3 up along this edge and 3 along that edge. There we go. So flip that over, center it. There we go. All right, so that's how our card opens. And then these pieces, I'm going to actually glue this one right down. So just any liquid glue, solid glue, whatever works for you. Just put some glue on there, pop that on there. And then I'm going to add one more dimensional. So I've got the dimensional holding the 2 flowers together. I'm going to put a mini on the end of our tag as well. I'm not going to pull its backing off yet though. I'm going to get my flowers on here how I want them, and then I'll pull this backing off and decide which direction I want my label in before I attach it. There we go. And then pull my twine the way I want it to go. And now I think for this one we're going to take a piece of basic white and put it on the inside of our card as well. Now we can leave it so that it has a little bit of a white border, or we can trim it down to 3 3/4 by 5 so that there won't be any border and it's just fully hidden inside our card. I think I'm actually going to leave mine full size so that there's that little white border. And pop that in there. Just like that. And then if we want to, we can finish this off with some kind of little embellishment. And so we have lots and lots of choices of embellishments, but I think I'm going to go with, of course, the one that's not at my desk. I'm going to grab my Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink faceted gems, which are right there. So right here, I've got Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. And I'm just going to come in here. I'm using the Strawberry Slush ones. And one down here. There we go. And just add those on. And that is my alternative for this month's kit. So it is a little bit of a trickier kit to do alternatives for, just because we don't end up with any extra pieces. But it's totally doable. Now in my head, I just have one other idea. So you'll always be able to catch the pictures of my alternatives on my blog if you need to pop out, because we've been going for an hour now. But if you have time to stick around, I'm going to do one more alternative. So I think I'm going to grab the leftover piece I had here, but I've got the flower side as well. And we're going to do some stuff with this. So I am going to, should I also do, maybe I'll do flowers and stripes. So I'm going to go grab that stripe piece as well. So I've got my leaves, but they've got stripes on the other side. So we're going to do flowers and stripes for this one. I'm going to cut 2 of these out at 2.5 by 3.5. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So 2.5 by 3.5. So I've got those. I'm going to grab a little basic white card base here, I think. Yeah, just like that. And then I'm going to grab some Secret Sea cardstock, and I'm going to do, no, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll stick with, strawberry slush. I'm just going to do a little border on each of these. Well, let's do the stamping first, and then we'll decide. So again, I'm going to stamp a border down the side in our Secret Sea. And then I'll decide if I want Secret Sea or strawberry slush. So this time I'm just going to do a single border though, not a double border. There we go. There we go. And finish it off there. All right, so that's straight onto the front of our card. We've just done a straight border. We're going to hold off before we frame those and see. Maybe we won't even frame them. Now we need my scrap paper. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay. I don't know if this is wide enough for my teapot or if I'm going to have to get something wider. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to get a slightly wider piece of scrap here so that I can actually, no, you know what? We'll make it work because, no, we're not going to. Actually, let's see. Will it fit on here? No, it won't fit on there. Okay, so if it's not going to fit on that circle, we are going to need a bigger circle. All right, so I'm going to go grab a larger circle. I'm going to use one of my Spotlight on Nature circles, just so we have a bit of a bigger space so that I can do all my stamping on one layer. That's big enough. Get some basic white. There we go. All right, so I think this is big enough. Yeah. All right, so this circle is just a little bit bigger than the circle in our add-on dies. And I'm going to be able to stamp my teapot straight on here. And we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep with our Secret Sea ink. I'm going to stamp that down as low as I can. And then I'm going to grab the bouquet. Oh, we haven't used the bouquet yet. There's a bouquet that fits perfectly in our teapot. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to block for it. There we go. Oops. Don't stick to my desktop. There we go. And I'm going to stamp these in Secret Sea above. There we go. So it looks like those flowers are popping out of our little teapot. And then we have got, am I going to decorate that or no? What color should I use? Big choices. I don't know. All right, we might just color it with blends, or perhaps we'll add some little details. Yeah, why don't we add some little details? All right, so we're going to take the little detail stamps. It's these like tiny little dots here. And I'm going to add some into my teapot to decorate it. And I think that's it. We'll just do those. Still feel like maybe I want to color my teapot. So I think I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm not going to color it with like Secret Sea. I think I'm going to grab my cloud cover, my light cloud cover. And I'm going to use that to color it. Now do I want light cloud cover with strawberry slush though? That's a decision I'm not sure about. Maybe I want a strawberry slush teapot. Maybe. And then I shouldn't have done those dots in blue like I did. Oh well. All right, so we're going to do light strawberry slush for our teapot. Very bright teapot. Not sure I like this. We'll see. Ay. Sometimes it comes together so easily and sometimes not so much. All right, so to color my teapot, I'm going to come in and color my spout and my handle. And then to color the actual teapot, I'm going to go in strokes across it that have a slight curve to it. Even though with blends, you don't really see your strokes. When you go back in to do any highlighting, adding extra color, those strokes do get seen. So now I'm going to come in and just do like part way across my teapot on either side. And then I'm going to do my handle one more time. And then I'm going to do my spout. And then this time I'm going to do full strokes across my teapot again to help blend in where I did my darker bits. So I'm not sure if you guys can see it so much on the screen, but what that's created is almost like a lighter spot in the center of my teapot and kind of gives it a little bit of a roundness. Now, I'm not loving those dark pieces on my teapot. I kind of wish they were strawberry slush. I can't do that now because, of course, they are dark blue, but what I can do is come back in and make them white. So I'm going to really go over this with my embossing buddy so nothing sticks to anything. I'm going to grab some Versamark ink and I'm going to re-stamp those little dots. Hopefully I can actually line this up. Pretty close. Maybe not exact, but pretty close. And re-stamp these ones. Again, pretty close. So we'll see how close I was. Oh, I'd say that was pretty good. All right, so now I am going to heat emboss that. Oh, thanks, LA. All right, there we go with the little white decorations. I like that a lot better. All right, so little white decorations on there on our teapot, and now we're gonna pop this on here. So I think for this one, let's see. Let's grab this card and see what it would look like to have pink borders. I think that the pink borders will actually help balance it out. If I do blue, it'll end up being too much blue on this card with the stripe and the flowers being so bold. So I'm going to get two little pieces of strawberry slush that actually are just a tiny bit bigger than this. So these were 2.5 by 3.5. So we're going to do 2 5/8 by 3 5/8, one for each of them. So I'm just going to grab a little piece of that. All right, so 2 3 5/8, 2 5/8 by 2. All right. So here we go. We've got our little background borders here. Just like that. And I almost feel like I want to cut this down again and put it onto a strawberry slush background just to pull it all together. It feels like it's just a little bit lost otherwise. Yeah, I'm going to cut this down and put it onto a card base as well. So we're going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to trim the one side and the top. All right. And 4 by 5 1/4 and a base. Alright, so let's cut this 5 1/2 and then score it. Oh, my scoreboard is covered in stuff. Yikes. All right, so now we've got that on there. And yeah, this is going to look a lot more finished by doing this. And so then we've got that piece and that piece. We've got our teapot. And then we're going to add our sentiment on here. And our sentiment, I'm just going to throw it onto like a skinny, oh, actually, we've got sentiments here. We've got our thank you, although that incorporates the blue, so I don't really want that. So no, we're going to throw our sentiment just onto a little scrap of paper. So you can just grab like a true scrap and cut it out, or grab like a 1/2 inch strip. Oh, here we go. I've got a ton of them. That might be a bit more than 1/2 inch. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Do I have a 1/2 inch anywhere? Surely I have a 1/2 inch strip somewhere. There we go. So I'm just going to grab a little 1/2 inch strip. These are like the little leftovers when you cut a piece of paper down to 4 by 5 1/4. You end up with little 1/2 inch strips. And I think I'm going to do thank you again, because I love that font. And so I'm just going to stamp it right on there. And then use my snips to cut it on a little angle. There we go. And that's going to get attached to our card front just like that. So let's get all of this glued, and then we can also add some embellishments. So that little layer. There we go. Glue our DSP to their backings. And so this is just using the In Color Designer Series paper and some strawberry slush cardstock to do these alternatives. No extra inks. Well, I guess the Versamark, if you want to do those. All right, so now these two are going to get glued to our card front, and they're just being glued. No dimensionals or anything. We'll save that for our teapot. So just put that on an angle. And this goes on an angle below that. And then I will use some dimensionals for my teapot. In the middle, two sides, there we go. Just like that. And we'll pop our little teapot on there. Take our thank you. Now my thank you is partially on my teapot, so I'm just going to use one dimensional off on this end. And then I'm just going to do a little rebel glue on the other side. And pop that on there. Try and make it straight. There we go. If you want to, you can tuck a dimensional under that sentiment too. So I just removed it from both sides before. Maybe even use like your take your pick tool or a pair of scissors just to tuck that underneath. There we go. All right, there's our card, and then we'll just throw some of those gems on it if I can see where I put them. Oh, there we go. On my very messy desk. So for this one, I might actually use the Pretty in Pink, just because we've got the lighter color in here with the DSP. And I'm going to actually maybe one up there. Oh, I only have big ones on this sheet. Put in here. I got some small ones. One there, one there, maybe one there. Oh, yeah. Oh, it left its backing behind. That's why. Okay, you stay there while I find your backing. Okay, one there. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's good. So that is our second alternative created using the Farmhouse Florals. So I'll just bring in my two alternatives here. So we kept it to a pretty simple color palette, but really had some fun with those stamp sets and made some beautiful cards. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys love your Farmhouse Floral Kit. It is such a pretty one. And I love that, like, you really don't have to do a lot to it. Like I normally cut mine up quite a bit, but I didn't really do anything to it to make 9 gorgeous cards. So thanks so much for watching. Next week I'll be back with a full card class to go, my last one of the summer, and then I'm going to go back to doing them just once a month with school starting up again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday for my card class to go. Have a wonderful week, and yeah, take care everyone. Bye-bye.